Imagine opening your eyes in the dead of night, in the year 900, somewhere in England. There are no streetlights, no illuminated roads, no police, telephones, or hospitals waiting for you.
Outside the small house, there is only darkness, wind, and the distant sound of animals moving in the mud.
If you had to leave right now, the most dangerous part of the night wouldn't be what you could see,
but everything that was hidden in the darkness. England in 900 AD was a world of small villages, precarious dirt roads, and vast, endless forests. That the night is just a darker version of the day.
In medieval England, the night could represent a complete and total change in the rules of life.
Inside the houses, a small flame was kept alive, usually fed by damp wood, peat, or other materials.
But fire was a precious and dangerous resource. A small flame illuminated only part of the room,
leaving entire corners completely plunged into deep shadows. An out-of-control spark could turn a house of wood and straw into a raging fire in a matter of minutes.
Therefore, sleeping meant accepting a strange, deadly balance.
Keeping enough fire to survive the cold, but not so much as to put the whole family in danger.
And the cold was a constant enemy. These buildings had absolutely no modern insulation.
The walls were made of wood, mud, and local clay, while the roof frequently relied on straw. The freezing wind could easily find small gaps and pierce through the interior of the house all night.
Many families slept huddled closely together, not for comfort,
but because sharing body heat was a practical way to face the freezing, brutal temperatures.
The smell was strong. The smoke was constant. The dampness seeped deep into clothes and blankets.
And when the night finally fell, there was little that could be done but wait for the dawn.
But staying inside the house did not mean you were completely safe.
Most people probably wouldn't imagine a medieval night as a sequence of constant attacks. In reality, the vast majority of nights would be much more silent and repetitive.
Yet, real dangers existed. Thieves, conflicts between communities, fires, and violence.
These threats could quickly turn an ordinary night into a desperate situation. In a society where many valuables were tied to the land, animals, tools, and food stocks,
and then there was another massive problem: communication.
Today, if someone notices danger outside, they can turn on a light or call the police. There would be no fire brigade arriving minutes later. The residents had to react alone. Wooden buckets, stored water, dirt, and collective effort were used to fight the flames.
It's also important to remember that 900 AD was not a period of absolute peace in England.
And, depending on the size of the fire, perhaps absolutely nothing would be enough.
The territory was deeply marked by conflicts between Anglo-Saxons and the Danish.
The so-called Danelaw occupied large parts of the English territory.
and political authority varied greatly depending on the region and the exact moment. A person living in a village might hear stories of battles, invasions, and armed men. Even when no threat appeared at the door, the memory of violence was part of daily life.
Now imagine that you absolutely need to travel during the night.
You open the door and look outside. There is no paved road waiting for you. Maybe you received urgent news. Maybe you need to find someone before dawn. Trees form dark silhouettes, and the thick vegetation hides holes and deadly obstacles.
Wild animals exist, though the danger they represent is often exaggerated in modern media.
The real, terrifying problem is that you cannot see almost anything.
The light instantly reveals exactly where you are in the dark.
Whoever is hiding in the darkness can see your flame long before you can see them.
Besides, carrying a torch through uneven paths is not exactly comfortable. A sudden gust of freezing wind can blow it out in a second. The relentless English rain can render it completely useless. Because of all this, traveling at night would be avoided whenever possible.
The absolute darkness also completely changed the perception of distance.
A village that seemed close during the day could feel endless during the night. Without vision, every single sound became magnified.
A simple breaking branch could suddenly seem like a lethal threat.
The movement of a wild animal could easily be confused with a creeping person. And without artificial light, human eyes took a long time to adapt to the shadows. The moon might offer some help on certain clear nights.
But thick clouds could quickly turn the world back into a nearly black mass. There would be animals, wind, cracking wood, and sounds from neighboring properties.
But the constant background noise of cars and engines did not exist.
None of the electronic noise that fills our cities today. The absence of those modern sounds made any unexpected noise feel much more important.
Inside the house, a family might remain awake for some time before sleeping.
Conversations would probably happen by the limited light of the fire.
Food could be prepared or consumed in the dim, smoky glow. Iron tools or wooden handles might be carefully repaired. Coarse woolen clothes might be mended in the shadows.
But eventually the flame would be reduced, and everyone would try to rest.
Sleep, however, was fundamentally different. The modern idea of 8 continuous hours of sleep simply cannot be projected. Sleep patterns varied by culture, hard labor, seasons, and available light.
The most important fact is that natural darkness dictated the daily rhythm
Without electric light, the night imposed much stronger physical limits.
And then there were the insects.
Fleas, lice, and other parasites were an unavoidable part of reality.
In a society entirely devoid of modern hygiene or pest control,
woolen blankets and heavy clothes accumulated layers of dirt and sweat. There was also no comfort in knowing a doctor could arrive quickly.
waking up midnight from severe itching or freezing cold was just ordinary.
A severe injury occurring at night had to simply wait until dawn for help.
There were absolutely no antibiotics, ambulances, or modern hospitals.
They relied entirely on local herbalists, prayers, and deep superstitions. Medical knowledge existed, but was brutally limited compared to our standards. And this profound vulnerability made the night particularly terrifying.
During the day, there was movement. During the night, an emergency was confined to darkness.
That dark, smoky house was simply their home.
They didn't wake up thinking they were living in a medieval world.
The smoke was part of life. The cold was expected. The darkness was natural. And the coming of dawn was a promise as concrete as work.
When the sky slowly began to clear, it felt different than ours.
Dawn didn't just mean a new day. It meant you could see again.
The paths became visible. People could leave home with less fear of obstacles. Work began again. Animals needed food. Fields needed care. The community started moving. The night finally lost its power.
This is the somber reality of surviving the night in England, 900 AD. It was enough to be alone in a world without electricity.
You didn't need to face monsters or killers to feel fear.
Without instant communication. Without modern medicine.
Darkness was simply a part of the environment. And humans had to learn to respect it.
For us, lights off means a dark room. For them, fire out meant surrendering to the cold.